Hey there everybody. It's been a while since I've done an update. Like I said in my last couple of videos, I've been traveling for a while and I've actually been back for probably a week or so, but been catching up on some other things, so I haven't had a chance to do any videos. So I'm going to rectify that now, and this will probably be a little longer. There's a few different things I'm going to give you updates on. The first one is the figures I did while I was actually traveling, and as you can see here, I was able to do one of the Space Marines, a Space Marine captain, and 5 of the orcs. Now, I'd say none of them are complete yet. I still have a couple of things to do, but for the most part, they're probably about 90% done. And again, these were my first orcs, so it was definitely a different experience painting them than Space Marines. Definitely a nice change of color palette from the Crimson Fists I've been painting primarily. So I got into some greens and some more earth tones with the orcs, a lot of which aren't used when I'm doing the Space Marines. So that was a nice change, mixed things up a bit. And also tried to do some rust effects on here. You can see with his axe, using some weathering powders and paints and stuff, kind of give it a rusty look. Also tried out on the bolter. It's not done. I just started doing a little bit on there just to see what I could come up with. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. Again, these aren't done. Really haven't done much as far as weathering and things of that nature. I didn't have a lot of that on the road with me. But I did get some done. And again, these guys are still in progress. I haven't done the eyes on any of them, and haven't finished up on the metals or the rust. Still trying to figure out if I like the rust technique on the gun or not. It might be a little too much, but again, being my first orcs, these are kind of my test subjects. But I was pretty pleased with how they came out. Again, you never know when you paint something for the first time, what to expect. But I was pretty happy with the results. Definitely a lot of variation on the orcs. I mean, when you paint Space Marines, they're pretty much the same, but like every orc has a different face or head, and so that was fun. Just having all the different variation kind of breaks up the monotony. Like, when you paint 10 Space Marines in a row, there's often not a lot of variation between each of them. At least not as much as you get between the orcs. So it was nice breaking up some of the monotony a little bit. And I really know nothing about orcs as far as clans or anything, so I just painted these to whatever kind of felt right when I was doing it. I don't even know if there's certain color schemes for orcs or not. I kind of assumed these guys would just wear a lot of leathers and have a lot of rusty gear. And this guy I showed you before, this is the captain. He hasn't really changed since the last video. He's mostly done. I have a little work to do on that banner. And but he's pretty much done. Got a base. Again, all these guys need to be based still. And the only other thing I did was I started doing the Dreadnought. I haven't done too much on them, but the interesting thing here, and let me zoom out a little bit, is I know in my other videos, when I was actually on the road, I was talking about how poor the lighting was, or how it's different than, right here I have my 3 kind of natural lights, which give you a good idea of color. Now, when I was in the hotels and traveling and stuff, you're kind of stuck with the bulbs they have there, so you don't get a lot of great lighting. But, when I was painting him, this guy, he looked good under the lights there. But just to show you a comparison to my normal color scheme, you can see the difference here between these two. And again, under other lights, this looked more like this one as far as the blue goes. So I gotta do some changes on him, darken him up a little bit. But that's just an example of how the lighting can really affect your painting. So like when you're traveling and stuff, I'll have to look and see if there's any options for lighting that's easy to take with you on the road. But yeah, I thought that was interesting because again, this one, I paint by eye. I kind of judge the color as I'm doing it. And I didn't have this one along as a comparison. But when I was doing this one, under that lighting, it looked like it was the right shade, but it wasn't. So anyway, got some more work to do on him. And that's pretty much the where I'm at with these guys. Now, like I said in the beginning of this, there's a couple of updates I have here. One of the other things I'm working on is a vehicle for, I think it's the 40K Nation's having a competition. So I'm working on a Land Raider, I don't know which one is the Crusader Redeemer model. And now this isn't all put together. This is still in its various stages of being worked on. But I figure I'd just give a quick update on where I'm at with this. I guess we'll start with the inside. Now, this isn't glued together, but and I think I've said this in my other videos, I feel compelled to paint the inside of a model, even if I know people will not see it a majority of the time. It's just something I personally feel is, like I said, not glued together, but this will actually give us some better angles on this here. So I've painted up the inside here. It's mostly done. Gave it kind of a chip paint effect on the walls there. Little grease effects on the mechanisms there, and kind of same on here. And again, I realize these aren't going to be seen much because the model's typically closed, but in my mind, it would drive me crazy knowing that this wasn't actually complete. The engine compartment there. And the ramp I've done a little bit. Now again, I did all this ahead of time because once you put it together, it'd be impossible to get in there, so I kind of did all of this. Now for the other pieces I'm working on, obviously if this is going into a competition, you want to add a little bit of, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, bling or customization to it. So let me adjust this to a little better view here. Now on this one, again, nothing's glued. Big thing is, well, I'll start from the front. I put in this piece of card here with a fist and a banner. That'll be painted up. It's just your normal bolt guns here. Now what I did over here is, this is actually going to be a shrine. And I'm still kind of thinking of names for this Land Raider, but I'm thinking the Vengeance of Ren or something along those lines. But really what this is going to be is a shrine in the back to the Fallen of Ren. And this is from one of the cities sets. I cut up the piece to make a archway, and it's using the, get this out of the way, just using a regular insert for the door. Now this little guy here, this is actually a casting I did. Let me pull up the, I'd taken a one of the suits, I think this is a Mark III, I don't remember. But anyway, I cut that up, adjusted the hands so they look like they'd be holding a sword, and eventually what I'll do is cut that off so they'd be holding the sword up, or actually maybe what I'm going to do is just cut the sword off so he's holding the hilt in front of him. I haven't really decided that yet, but once I do, it'll go under this guy here. As you can see, this is just a direct casting from the other piece I made, and he'll be painted up. And casting was a little tricky. You have to, you can see I've got the clay in there because you want to make sure you don't have any undercuts where the mold will get stuck. And I put him on a base into a container and then filled it up to the level I wanted. Let that harden, and then once that was hardened, and sprayed him with release agent, poured another layer on top, and this actually became the mold here. It's upside down. So then on this one is where I pour the resin, plastic, whatever it is, and this is what you get. Because what I wanted is it to look kind of like a statue coming out of the side there. And again, I'll have this piece over, so again it'll have a nice cathedral type of look to it, and maybe put some candles or something in there. Still working on that, but that's kind of the big piece on that side. And I've added, this is going to be a command vehicle, so I added some of these things here for the communications, added this little kind of torch-like thing on the front. And then for the other side, much the same, I put a panel up front here, have a matching light or whatever you have here. And then this side I just created a little banner that'll hang off of the Crimson Fists symbol. And then this here is going to be another communications. There's a long antenna. I think this piece actually from the set is supposed to go on the top, but I put it on the side and it'll be up on there. And for the top so far, I've just added a couple of, I don't know what we call those, winged skulls. Still got other things to do, but that's kind of where I'm at right now on this. Still have some other things to do, but the last part I'm going to do an update on, and this is going to go way back, probably 6 months is the last time I had done a update on this particular thing. Is if you've seen my other videos, you know I've been working on this guy here, which is going to be the Emperor. And I haven't done too much to him since the last video. He's actually been, I kind of had a block on this. There's some things I wanted to do and either didn't have the skill or know-how, so he's been kind of sitting there, not having much done to him. So I broke him out, and what I've been trying to do is think of something to do on the chest, because I didn't like the Aquila that was on there, so I'd filed it off and I was playing around with some things. And what I want to do is, let's see, this here is what I'm planning on adding to his chest. And those wings are actually from, I don't know what set this is. These are some kind of birds that come with one of the, I think it's actually not a 40k, but an actual Warhammer army. I'm not really sure. I don't even know. I had a package, I don't remember what they are. But anyway, there's several that came in there, so I just cut the wings off of one of these guys. And came up with that. I know in a lot of pictures you see the Emperor's got, like, red jewels and stuff in the chest. And the blade here, the blade and stuff is probably just going to be resting against here. I don't have his arms and stuff on there, but you can see the other video and kind of see what I would have been doing with the arms. I think the only thing really new that wasn't in the other video, and this will be sitting here. This is his power claw that you see in a lot of his things, but I created a. Look at the lighting here. This is the power claw from, I believe it's the Tyrus figure from. What's that line? The Inquisitor models. So I took that and did some modifications on it. Put a bolter and an eagle's head. And that's actually wasn't an eagle originally. I'm trying to remember what that was. That was it's actually a chaos head, I think. Let me see. I think I've got one here that's unadjusted. And that was originally one of these guys. I don't remember what these were originally. I put them on this backpack for something else I was testing out, but these are like little chaos things, and I ground that down until I came up with that head, kind of eagle looking, and then just used bits and bobs to add the ammo feed on the side. So still got some adjusting to do here, and like I said, this will be just sitting on the throne next to him. And have his arms. Again, none of this is pinned in place, but anyway, just a quick update on that. And he's just the guy I work on when I have time, because I don't want to rush him. I'm actually trying to spend some time on it and putting some thought into it, so can't really guarantee when that'll be done, but it is still being worked on. For those that were interested, a couple of people have asked me where that left off after the update 6 months ago, but that's where we're at. And the other thing I know, I still have to do a ton of stuff to him. And one of the big things, I have to get a cape that'll go over his back and it'll cover up a lot of the areas in here, because the cape will come up and over and have like a clasp or something in the front. Get this arm off. I actually also put got another little gem that's going to go, so the red guy is going to fit into the little slot there. Again, a lot of the pictures you see, he's got those red stones and stuff. Kind of a chainmail piece here hanging down. His shoulder guards, again, this is a mix of Inquisitor figures, Tyrus and some others. I forget the other figure. I used Tyrus and one of the Space Marines. I don't remember the other Inquisitor Space Marine. But anyway, that's where that one is at right now. And no guarantees on when there'll be another. Like I say, he just as it strikes me, I work on him. So not a lot since the last time, but there has been a little. So anyway, that's the update for now. Now that I'm back, and once the holidays are over, there should be more frequent updates, and I guess if I won't be doing any more updates probably before Christmas, so I want to wish everyone Merry Christmas, have great holidays, be safe, and I will talk to you again in the new year.